everyone, welcome to another episode of Special Sevens. Today we have Indra and Netra as guests in our shows. Welcome guys. Today we have another interesting topic to cover, but first let's start from last week's question. Art makes you smart. Who is the first recognized celebrity artist in the Western world? Any guesses guys? Okay, that was a tough one I guess. It was Michelangelo Buonarroti. He was a very famous artist, and these are some of his famous works. The first one is the Sistine Chapel. That's in the Vatican, and it's on the roof. He had to paint the roof of the chapel for 4 years. At the end of it, we had a beautiful painting, and he had back. And St. Peter's Basilica. This is another famous church. He designed it, but unfortunately he died before the construction of the church, so he never saw it in form, but he was the one who designed this church. And the other marble sculpture is David. This is in France. This is the Bible character, David and Goliath. David, the shepherd who hit the big Goliath with a single stone and a slingshot. This is also considered to be one of his famous works. So remember the name guys, Michelangelo. He is one of the famous artists. Okay, moving on to this week's topic, handing over to our presenter today, Meenakshi. Let's go on.
Hello girls. Today's topic is how we want to shop Canadian products in Canada. That's going to be topic for today. Why? Do you know why? Because there is a trade war happening between US and Canada. What's happening is Mr. President Trump is imposing tariffs on Canadian products. Let me explain tariff in a simple term. Let's imagine this. Indra, who's in Canada, and Netra is in US, they share candies and cookies. So one day Netra asks for extra candies, and Indra responds by asking for extra cookies. Now they're both upset, right? Something like that, right? It has to be equal. But now, since Mr. President is imposing tariffs on Canadian products, this becomes a trade war between Canada and US. Since this is happening right now between Canada and US, today we are going to see what are all the brands which are Canadian, and when you go shopping, how to recognize them, where to shop, and all that. Okay, so let's go. Do you know which amongst these are Canadian?
Real Canadian Superstore?
For sure. Okay. How about Save-On Foods and Walmart? Save-On Foods is also Canadian. Walmart is not Canadian. So going forward, we should be doing more of shopping in Superstore, Save-On Foods. Which amongst these are Canadian? Do you recognize any brands in this where you fill gas and which are Canadian?
Petro Canada?
Correct. That's Canadian.
Esso?
Not Canadian.
Husky?
Husky is Canadian. Chevron is not Canadian. Shell is not Canadian. Petro-Canada and Husky are the brands which we should be doing our gas for the car. Okay, let's go to the next slide. How about these? You love all of these, right? Tim Hortons, Starbucks, Jujube Bean Waves Blends.
Tim Hortons?
Oh no, Tim Hortons is a tricky one. Though it's founded in Canada, it's not fully Canadian anymore, because it got merged with Burger King, and then to make it short, it's not fully Canadian anymore. Okay?
Starbucks?
Not Canadian. No. The Waves, Blends, and Jujube Bean, all three of them are Canadian. Okay? And the Blends, Waves, they have amazing coffees and wonderful choices. I will take you one day, you will fall in love with it for sure. I have my favorites from there. Which among these are Canadian? Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, DoorDash. DoorDash. No.
Skip the Dishes?
Skip the Dishes is right. Yeah, we mostly do Skip the Dishes, right? So I think that's good. How about this? These are all your favorites.
Arnold's?
No, it's not Canadian. Not Canadian. How about Burger King? Do you know?
No, because you said it was merged with...
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's not Canadian. Okay. How about A&W?
Booster Juice?
Booster Juice is Canadian. W?
Canadian?
A&W, Canada is Canadian. Correct. New York Fries.
No.
It is Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, even though the name says New York Fries, it is Canadian. Subway.
Canadian?
No, not Canadian. Quiz knows.
No.
No, not Canadian. Mr. Sub.
Mm.
It is Canadian. Okay? DQ, as I said, it's not Canadian. Booster Juice is Canadian. DQ Orange Julius, which we see in Metrotown Mall and often have juice from. No, it's not Canadian. Okay. And then KFC.
No. No.
No, it's not Canadian. And then MB Chicken.
No.
That is Canadian.
Oh.
Okay. But then KFC, the most popular one, it's not Canadian. Evo Car Share, Uber, Lyft. So these are all the car shares.
No.
Evo is Canadian for sure. Yeah. So Uber and Lyft are not Canadian. It's better to use Evo. Which amongst these are Canadian?
Roots?
Roots is Canadian,
Because it
yes.
has a big round. Canadian Tire?
Yes. Yes. So this slide, entire stuff you see here is Canadian.
Everything?
Everything in the slide is Canadian, yeah. Hudson's Bay, Lululemon, Roots, Aritzia, Indigo, Shoppers Drug Mart, Canadian Tire, Dollarama, Sports Check, Marks, Mac, Winners. There are so many retail brands, I thought at least you'll be aware of what is Canadian when you go shopping. That's
Perfect. Any new Canadian brands that I could recognize? That concludes our episode for today, and we are going to give you a hint about a story that we will cover in the next episode. Archimedes' Eureka moment. Why did Archimedes, while he was taking a bath, get up suddenly and run naked? We will review the answer in the next episode. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you girls. Bye.
But without an underwear?